Hello and welcome to Talk FCB and welcome back here to the channel, guys, for another transfer orientated video. And this will be the last transfer video for a little while. After today it will be getting back to the Barcelona matches, of course, the previews, the reviews, getting up to speed, ready for that Leganés game coming up this weekend. But in this video I am going to be talking about two more potential targets coming up for either January or next summer is more likely. And we're also going to be having an update on the Antoine Griezmann situation towards the end of this video. There have been a few developments in the last few days on Griezmann to Barca, but we are going to kick off here with a very young centre-back. Some of you guys were very interested in seeing a bit of a video on him. A few of you know of him very, very well, and it is Upamecano, who currently plays for RB Leipzig. And we spoke, of course, about another RB Leipzig star, Timo Werner, in the last video, and this man right now, even younger than Werner, and really is pulling up some trees in the Bundesliga. A very, very talented young centre-back that has come onto Barcelona's radar and was on the radar of elite clubs when he was very, very young indeed. When he started his career at Valenciennes, he was coming through there. He's a French under-19 international. He then went to RB Salzburg, of course, the sort of sister club to RB Leipzig, both owned by Red Bull. And in January 2017, he made that move to RB Leipzig from Salzburg to Leipzig. He's now in the Bundesliga, and since he's got there, he really has been causing a stir. His performance has been very, very good. He's been very, very consistent, and he really is right now one of the most highly rated young centre-backs in world football. A bit of background knowledge on him, what type of player he is. He's a centre-back, like I say, 6'1" tall, so he's pretty tall. Not a giant, but he's also not short either. He's a right-footed centre-half, somebody who's quite comfortable to play at the back. Very, very strong, very, very physical, and very, very athletic. He is a player, certainly, that is very much the modern defender. He's quick, he's good on the ball, and he's very, very good in defensive situations. But like I say, he started his career at Valenciennes in France, coming up through their youth system. He didn't actually make a single appearance for their first team, and in 2016 he made the move to RB Salzburg for 2.2 million euros, and like I say, then in January of this year he joined Leipzig for 10 million euros, which again, like they did with Werner, is a real steal. They picked him up there for an absolute bargain fee. But the reason I'm talking about him in relation to Barcelona is because he has been linked several times in the past few months to Barca. We've scouted him every time that Robert Fernandes has gone to watch Leipzig to scout Werner. He's also been taking a very close look at Upamecano, somebody who's impressed him, somebody who certainly has gone back to look at more than once, and he has been linked quite a few times in the Spanish media with a move to Barcelona. We certainly scouted him, we're certainly interested, but like I say, we are not the only elite club interested in him. Man United were interested in him right back in his Valenciennes days, and they're reportedly, according to English media and the Daily Express, definitely still interested in him now, and you can definitely see why. You know, he suits a lot of the elite clubs. Like I said earlier on, he's very good defensively, he's very, very strong, and he's very, very quick as well. He's a very good combination of the two, and I spoke yesterday extensively about Samuel Umtiti, how well he's adapted since he came into Barcelona, and he's a brilliant mix of sort of defensive nous. He understands the game, he reads the game, he's quick, but he's also very, very strong, and you can see that as well with Upamecano. You know, he's very quick, but he's also very, very physical in the way that he plays, and it's very, very interesting actually. There's a video about the Bundesliga when Leipzig played Dortmund. There's a video of Upamecano keeping up with Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. We all know how quick and how lightning quick Aubameyang is, and he was comfortably keeping up with him, tracking back, and eventually made a very good tackle on him as well. And what I say is, when I've watched him, when I watch highlights of him, his defensive play, he doesn't look 19. He really, really doesn't. 19 years old. He only just turned 19 just 1 month ago, back in October, the end of October, and he really doesn't look his age. He reads the game very, very well. He's very calm as well. He doesn't just dive in, because a lot of youngsters, you see them, they're very raw talents, and they'll dive into challenges, they'll make their decisions too quickly, but he doesn't. He stands off them, he assesses the situation, he's very, very strong when he does decide to commit himself, and I have to say, when I've watched him, he doesn't look his age. He looks like a really young head on very mature shoulders. But just like I said with Timo Werner, coming from Leipzig, coming from a club very, very wealthily backed from Red Bull, of course, it would cost to get him. They only signed him for 10 million euros, but they would be selling him for a lot more than that. But that's the big question, isn't it, really? Do you sort of take that time out to analyse him a bit more, to do more scouting, to really take a look at what we're going to be be signing, or do you go for him now, get him while he's available? Because the longer you wait, the more elite clubs that are going to come in, they're going to be circling, and when that happens, the price rockets. So we could act now, we could bring him in, probably somebody who would be attainable in January for the right price. We could bring him in, he's young, he could improve, or we wait until the summer. By then though, other clubs could certainly be interested, and who knows what Upamecano could be going for. But you know, like I say, a very talented young defender, somebody that we certainly scouted and certainly want to watch in the very, very near future. And the second player that we are going to discuss today is Christian Eriksen, like I mentioned at the start of the video. 25 years old, Danish international of course, and he has been in the headlines recently, very much so. Last night when he scored a hat-trick as Denmark beat the Republic of Ireland to reach the World Cup. Eriksen, fantastic in that team. The whole team revolves around him, and he really is an outstanding player, both the club and country right now. 75 caps in total he's got for Denmark, and his stock really is rising. At Tottenham, he's become an influential figure, and his country as well. Like I say, everything revolves around him. He really is the star man. This season so far, he started really, really well for Tottenham, who are currently third in the Premier League. They're also top of their Champions League group right now. In the process, beating Real Madrid 3-1 at Wembley Stadium. Eriksen was on the score sheet that night, and also in attendance that day was Robert Fernandes, who reportedly was on the lookout for players, and certainly Eriksen would have caught his eye, and he's somebody who the club have scouted in the past. But unfortunately, up until now, we've not really made an official move for Eriksen, even though right from the very start, he really does suit us, I feel. A lot of people are saying it now. A lot of people as well in the summer were coming on saying, why are we not after Eriksen? And that really is the big question, because everything in his game right now certainly links to Barca, and you could see exactly how he'd fit. Back in 2014, he joined Tottenham from Ajax, and any player coming out of Ajax certainly is a really good place to develop your game and really do learn the football style exactly that we can implement at Barcelona. Since then, he's made 194 appearances in the Spurs shirt, scoring 46 goals and creating 60 goals by means of assist. And since Pochettino has come into the club at Tottenham, he really has flourished and gone to an even different level. I think now he definitely is in the elite level in the Premier League, really is one of the best players, certainly in Tottenham's team. They've got Harry Kane, they've got Dele Alli, but Christian Eriksen is right up there. He can create goals, he can score goals, everything revolves around him at Tottenham as well. He can receive the ball, he can move it on, he can keep it, he can go past players. He really is the all-in-all midfield player that you want in your team, and every single game so far this season in the Premier League, he has been involved, scoring 3 goals and 3 assists so far. And like I say, in the summer, there was a reason why a lot of us were coming on saying, why are we not going after Eriksen? He fits the profile. We want somebody in that midfield who can keep hold of the ball, who knows how to use it, who can move the ball on. Eriksen can do all those things, and the beauty of Eriksen is he's very, very versatile in the way that he can play. You know, he would like to play at number 10, he would like to play in that creative midfield role, but he's not just limited to that. He can play to the right, he can play to the left, he can also play a bit more withdrawn and play a sort of controlling role. He's very, very comfortable on the ball, and he really, really is a top quality passing player by means of set pieces as well. He can shoot on goal, he can shoot from distance, he's got a number of goals over the course of his career, and I think really right now, at 25 years old, he's really entering the very prime of his career. He's making big appearances on the big stage, and he really is producing. And when we're saying, you know, he would suit the Barcelona style of play, we should go for him, there's a lot more substance to that as well, because in June, he was basically crying out for us to go and make a move for him. In the paper, he was quoted as to saying, I want to play at the very top level. Barcelona are a great club. I don't think there are many out there who would refuse if Barcelona came calling. Those were the words of Christian Eriksen himself. In the summer, he was basically crying out for us, but unfortunately the board failed to recognise that. We didn't make any official move for Eriksen, and here he is now at Tottenham on a bigger level and a more impressive level than ever before. And like I say, last night he was very much in the headlines. He scored a hat-trick as Denmark did reach the World Cup. Mundo Deportivo actually this morning on their website have created an article on him where it basically says that Barcelona are very much interested in Eriksen, but Barca themselves realise he's not for sale at Tottenham. They do not want to let him go under any circumstances. What I would say about that is, though, when has that ever stopped us before? The board pursued Coutinho right throughout the entire summer, even though we knew the whole time Liverpool did not want to sell. If we really do want to get Eriksen, we we should be doing everything in our power to go and get him. Another potential stumbling block with the deal though would certainly be Spurs chairman Daniel Levy, who is basically known in the UK as one of the toughest negotiators in world football. You saw it with Gareth Bale, you've seen it with Modric as well. He will hold clubs ransom over transfers. He will not let anybody go cheap. He's very, very tight with the wage structure as well at Tottenham. No player there earns over their value, and with Eriksen he would be exactly the same. If they don't want to sell him, he would cost an astronomical amount of money to get him out of Spurs. But like I say, if Valverde believes that Eriksen can come into the team and give us something, which I definitely think he could, we should be going all out and really going for him. If he's the player that we count on, if he's the player that can come into our midfield and sort our problems, which I certainly think he has the characteristics to do, we should be throwing the money at Spurs and at least be asking the question, do you want to sell him? I think Eriksen, after his quotes in the summer, would certainly be open to a move. I think he would suit La Liga even more so than the Premier League, and I think he's a really, really exciting player right now that we should certainly be scouting. We should certainly be having a look and seeing how the market looks, testing the water with Spurs, seeing how much money they'd want, and definitely he should be one of the players on our targets right now. The way he's playing, the form that he's showing, the age that he's at, everything for me looks perfect with him. He's at the right age, he's at the right stage of his career, he's vastly experienced on the international stage and at club level as well. He really does have everything going for him, and it's going to be really, really interesting what happens in the summer. And the final point in this video, guys, like I said at the very start, is about Antoine Griezmann. Just a quick anecdote to this video. I just want to go on a report that came out yesterday from French publication Le Temps Sports. They basically came out with a very, very extensive report saying that we had agreed a deal in principle to sign Antoine Griezmann this summer from Atletico Madrid. The report went on to say basically that we'd met with Griezmann's representatives, we'd agreed wages, we'd agreed a contract length, it's going to be for 5 years, and he has now agreed his exit from Atletico next summer when his release clause will stand at 100 million euros. That's also been followed up in the recent hours by also Spanish media as well. They feel like it's getting closer and closer now. Griezmann to Barca is looking more and more likely, so we're going to have to see how that develops in the coming months. Man United are interested too, but right now it does seem like we're slipping into pole position for Antoine Griezmann. So those are the three players that we're going to be discussing in this video. A very, very bright and encouraging centre-back that we've certainly got tabs on. Christian Eriksen right now, who is at the top of his game and really is going into the prime of his career. And Antoine Griezmann, who could possibly be closing in on a move to Barcelona next year. Leave your thoughts down below, guys. What do you think about the players that we discussed in today's video? What do you think of Upamecano? What do you think of Christian Eriksen? And also, what do you think about the Griezmann to Barca news? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, guys. I will see you, like I say, very, very shortly with more Barca videos. That Leganes game back in La Liga. Finally, Barcelona will return this weekend as the international break ends for quite a while. I'll see you soon, but until then, as always, Vesca el Barça. Barça! Barça! Barça!